I really, really, really enjoyed this. Do I play this again? I mean, even if I play it again, I can't be loud. I want to be able to sing it loud one day. I'll wait until I get really familiar with these chords. I just started, like a few days ago playing. Actually, just started the day before yesterday. Because I thought I was using this instrument only to play solo, not to sing. But then I realized I thought I wouldn't like it. I can play this one, I can play this one. Imagine. Really hungry now. What is in the key? Imagine I don't know if it's right. I don't know. I need to listen to a video to find out. Let's try this one. Listen to the tutorial. There's a tutorial video. There's no intro for this song. I don't know what the key is. Darling, just die right. It's too low, you know. Well, it's not too low. It's for me, but it's too low to sing. Like my voice is really low, I think. Like normal girls songs, I always have to lower the keys. But many male songs, I can sing them, and sometimes I have to lower them. But my voice doesn't sound like a low voice. I don't speak like a low voice. When I sing, I just can't sing very high. But I think I can sing lower than I can sing high, which is interesting. I think it's cool. Do you think my potatoes are cooked right now? I'm really hungry. Okay, let's try it now. See what it's like. I put the clip on. That was just 1/2 note higher. With this thing on, it's hard to play press. this is my first try. I never practiced it before, so it's rather very bumpy. And I'm recording it because I like to. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. I think it's still too low for me, you know. But I don't know, like, the high part might be too high for me. I don't know. I'm just gonna raise it a little 1.5 key higher. It's interesting that I have a low voice because it doesn't sound like that. Am I doing something wrong? I always struggled to sing high, even as a kid. You know, I was gonna be the lead, but I couldn't sing it, the high part. Other people can, I couldn't. You know, I was ashamed. I was sad because I wanted to sing. I wanted to sing. Oh. I found a love for me. Darling, just dive right in. Follow my lead. I found a girl, beautiful and sweet. I never knew you were the someone waiting for me. 'Cause we were just getting away. We were just getting away. Fell in love, none fell in. Fell in love, not knowing what it was. I wanna get you up this Darling, just kiss me slow. Your heart is kiss me slow. Your heart is in your eyes, your I'm dancing in the dark, we're dancing in the dark with you between my arms. Barefoot on the grass, listening to our favorite song when you 사주로 담배사랑 underneath my breath. You hurt me, darling. You look perfect and I don't want to stop playing because I am sucking up the rest of my energy. Okay. I feel like a channel and energy's been sucked out of me. Like a straw, and energy's been sucked out of me. I'm waiting for the potato to cook, and then I will just maybe take a walk outside. Yeah, because yesterday I didn't take a walk outside and I got really depressed. Because the days are really short now. It's getting even shorter, and until the 22nd, still getting shorter. And even around the 22nd, it would be getting longer, but just, it wouldn't make much difference for a month. I guess for the first 2-3 weeks, you wouldn't notice it. So it's still gonna be like this for a month. I need to take walks outside, even if today's. What do you call it when it's not cloudy, not gloomy, not gray clouds? It's just completely white. Is that sunny? Absolutely, definitely not. What do you call this? It's not cloudy. There's no cloud. I don't see clouds. I just see the absence of blue. It looks sunny, but it's completely white. The sky. I think it's a very interesting phenomenon. I think we're overlooking it. We should be paying more attention and be more curious about that. It's not clouds. I think people would by default think that it's all clouds. That's why it's all completely white. But you know what clouds look like. Clouds don't look like this. Clouds don't go so even, completely even, covering the whole sky completely even. But that's what you would think when you don't know about it. And I've just read a little bit about it, and it says it's because of maybe because it's too wet, too moist outside, so or too dry. Is it too dry or too wet? That the light couldn't reflect properly like it normally does on a sunny day when it gets really sunny and blue. When it's too wet outside, it looks completely white. But so I would say it's then. Oh, you know what? What interesting is when you see a day like this that's completely white, you don't see clouds. That's really creepy. If you imagine that it's completely white and you see clouds, that's really creepy. It's not something I've ever seen, like clouds. Like, for example, one piece of cloud floating right there in this completely white sky. That's something I've never seen, and I don't think it's something that exists. If it has clouds, you get to see the color of the sky. If you don't get to see the color of the sky, which is you see just white, you don't see clouds. And why? I have another question, I'm really curious and I'm really spontaneous. Why does it make me feel scared when I see something abnormal in nature? Like, for example, when I was just imagining the sky right now, I'm looking at completely white, and I imagine a cloud, and it creeps me out because it's something I've never seen. It's something that doesn't exist. And, if I don't even dare to Google pictures, like supernatural pictures, like sky looking weird, it just creeps me out. Why? Because that's something we call supernatural, paranormal, or just something not normal, suggesting danger, danger, because we don't like the unknown. And it's something that's supposed to be perfectly normal because according to our physics, according to our common sense, according to everything that we've come to know so far, and which is the sky supposed to look in these specific ways. If it doesn't, somehow one day, it creeps all of us out. Even me, someone who's already spiritual, who's seeing the impossible already, I've seen the most bizarre things, and I still get creeped out. That's kind of like a existential fear. It's different from other fears, like a tiger in front of you, if you're scared. When you see a strange looking sky, you feel that existential fear. Like everything you believe, everything you've seen, everything you've lived is flipped over by what you see right now. It's a strange sky. So whenever I dream a lot about the sky and the universe. Like whenever I have a dream about the sky and the universe, it's always a scary dream because in dreams things always look strange. So when I saw, I'm shaking now because I am kind of scared of oversharing. When I'm feeling I'm oversharing, when my body thinks that I'm oversharing, it starts to shake like this, even if consciously I don't feel like it's oversharing, but my body is shaking. And I can't keep everything to myself. The world's gonna become psychic soon, and there won't be any more secrets anymore. And there's nothing you can hold back behind anything. No more veils between people. We're all known, and we feel each other's feelings. We know each other's thoughts. I think that's perfect. I want to talk more. Well, when I'm hungry, I can talk. I can't sing maybe, but I can talk. I think I'm just afraid of being judged because in my mind right now, the person listening to the video is someone that's judgmental. I think that way because I have a judger in my head. I have a critic always in my head judging me this and that. I can't get rid of it. I have to love it, but it doesn't seem to know love. So I was talking about the dreams I had. I had only one dream about the sky. It looked really strange. The clouds were like swirls in the sky, and the blue of the sky was in a dark, deep, not dark, kind of like dark blue, but it was daytime. So it was really creepy to me. I was creeped out. Well, it was not a nightmare, but I was creeped out. And then I would have these. I don't know if I should talk about this. I would have. I think I should. I would have these kind of nightmare-like dreams. Not exactly nightmare, but just kind of creepy, scary dreams where I'm standing at the edge of something, and right in front of me, there's just there's just sky. There's no land. It's like you're standing at the verge of a building that's built in the universe. In the universe, there's no land. There's just the sky or space, whatever, and stars. And I don't know, that just creeped me out. I think the universe kind of creeps me out a little. When I see some pictures of the universe, I just feel this. I think many people do. I wonder what it is. This creep. I'm gonna ask ChatGPT, even if it doesn't know much, but that's what I can do. Like some pictures of space just creeps me out. And I had those dreams where some symbols were floating in the air, and it actually looked beautiful. I don't know why it would creep me out in the dream, but it looked actually beautiful because, it was like kind of rosy. The stars had those rosy lights floating. The whole sky looked kind of rosy pink, but it's still like a space color. And there were stars, and there were some symbols floating. I think the symbols really creeped me out because it's something abnormal. some symbols floating. Symbols kind of similar to the planet symbols in astrology, those symbols. Those that look like noodles. And floating, and they were giant, and I was standing at the edge of the platform looking at them floating. I was just so scared. I felt so insecure. I don't know, because the universe isn't friendly to me, like subconsciously speaking. I feel there's a sense of a malice floating in the universe, that the universe wants to get you somehow. That's how I've been feeling. I've been conditioned to feel, trying to tell myself the universe is friendly. Like when I watch a movie, for example, yesterday I watched a movie. It was actually a warm, heartwarming movie, but all the time I was worried. What if they would start to treat a girl, start to abuse her, somehow, because that movie wasn't like the whole, like, it didn't have upbeat music. If it had upbeat music, I wouldn't have those thoughts. It just didn't have any music less, upbeat, suggesting, or the tone of the music. I mean, the color hue tone of the music of the song of the movie was kind of not upbeat either. It was not warm. It would just say realistic, or even kind of melancholic. A filter, it was kind of dark. So I was always expecting something. I mean, the music wasn't creepy. I think it's just the filter. The filter looked kind of dark because maybe it was trying to portray the girl's depression. It was a child, and she's really quiet because she was overlooked at home and wasn't treated properly. And in a new family, the family loved her. I even read about a movie before I watched it. I knew that it was supposed to be a healing movie, and it was. I was as I was watching through. In my head, I'm imagining right now my audience watching this video saying, "She is a stumper." What's the right word for it? Like people that can't speak straightly, like they speak like 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 that. I have that critic in me, and I'm projecting it. I know it's projection. Anybody that's watching this far must be someone that's, or whatever, Well, I've had people that watched my longest videos and be the most misunderstanding people. Like, they didn't understand shit. They were critical, they were like kind of judgmental, I don't know, they didn't make me feel comfortable. But now I'm not sharing these videos anywhere. It's just here. I'm not sharing it on any social media. It's just here on YouTube. And so it's completely in the hands of the universe. Whoever bumped into this video would be a universe decision out of my control completely. I think I'm a very interesting figure. I feel this deep sense of unworthiness, but I can see my value at the same time. They seem to be coexist perfectly within me, which is very interesting. What do you think? Because people who normally feel unworthy, they don't see their value. Well, maybe because I see my value, but I see a judgmental world that doesn't see my value, that judges other aspects of me, such as my appearance and how I am, rather than like the universe. I don't think the world would find me not worthless. Well, I can see my worth, I see my value, and it's not deniable. Or maybe it is. I do have self-doubt, yes. Sometimes I doubt if I'm a good person at all, It's just the biggest crisis you can have when you start to doubt if you are actually a good person at all, if you are actually bad. Well, in many senses, many ways. And I often doubt if I'm selfish because I'm really highly self-aware, and I am aware that I'm very self-absorbed. But then I'm not, that's just what I am. That's how I am. Like, the mechanism of me works this way. That I am self-absorbed is not selfish. It's just how I am. Some people are less self-absorbed. Some people are external absorbed. They're more into other people and surroundings. That's how they are. It's not like altruistic. They are selfless. That's just how they function as a personality. And my personality functions the way that I am self-absorbed. And I am highly self-aware. Often, with self-doubt and insecurity and sense of unworthiness, I doubt if that's because I'm selfish. And I often think I'm selfish because I think my mother called me selfish a lot of times. But it happened after I was 12 years old, after I was 10, 11, so thankfully it didn't traumatize me a lot. If it happened before I was 7, if I had been caught selfish a lot before I was 7, then it would be programmed deeper. How to tell if you are a selfish person is when you think other people are selfish. You look at everybody and you think they're all selfish, especially people around you that you know, and you think they're all selfish, mostly selfish. That suggests that actually you're selfish. But that's not how I see other people. I see other people as people, I don't think they're selfish or what. They just have their own things to do. And I this thing especially impressed me was when I was in elementary school, and my friend, I think she was premature. She kind of looked mature and talked mature. She was calm, and she once asked me a question, who do you think, which classmates do you find selfish? And it took me a long time to think, and finally I said a name because that person that didn't give me that thing that he had a lot of. I just wanted one of them, and then he had a lot I thought he would give me, but he rejected, and I said, okay, maybe that person. And then she was surprised. She said, oh man, you are not selfish at all. She said later, because selfish people would find a lot of people selfish. So, she was happy, and she was glad to find that I wasn't a selfish person. And I always remember this. I don't blame that guy, actually. I don't want to start to think about him because he was such a poor boy. I mean, he suffered a lot. I don't even want to start thinking about all the abuse that he's taken. Well, I wasn't aware as a kid. Now, looking back, it's just so sad. I hope it's all fine now. I hope life treats him with gentleness, or he's taken on a lot. Men, boys get into violence much more, get treated violently much more often than females. But at the same time, females are like physically weaker, so it's like a offset, balanced. It's not like more fair being male or female. It's pretty much 50-50. So females been discriminated against for the past. So it's really 50-50. It's not like it's better for you to be male, females luckier being male, female. It's really 50-50. Both have their advantages, and I enjoy being a female. I think my personality would suit better in a female body, even though it's a genderless. But I would be judged less if I'm a female. Then imagine if I was a male and I'm like this. If I'm a male, I'm definitely gay. Cause I'm really my personality is really has a lot of feminine energy. I can feel it if I like the word feminine. But you know, I'm really spontaneous, and I'm really I really am authentic to my emotions, and I really value emotion and compassion. And I am really logically capable. Like, I'm smart, intelligent, intellectual. But that's like the subset. That's not dom. In me. I'm shaking because I assume I have a judgment audience. But the thing is, this video doesn't have any audience at all. Maybe before I die, but I'm shaking. My dear body, it's fine, you're safe. You're free of harm. Don't worry. Don't you worry. So actually, I'm just exaggerating a little bit. I feel vulnerable because I'm sharing so much about me, and the audience is someone watching in the dark. I don't know anything about you. You could be judging, you could be doing whatever you need. I'm really literally exposing myself. Even though these videos don't get any views. And sometimes I feel happy about it, sometimes I wish. Actually, I don't worry at all. They're watched. I pray the kindest people would find these videos and watch them, not the judgmental ones. It is at the hands of the universe. I think the universe does it for me. I'm really hungry, and it's cooked right now. I'm gonna take it out and eat it. It smells great. I love sweet potatoes. A food that I like, I can share with you now. I think I'm very cute. I mean, like, personality-wise. I never talk about appearance, because it's something that you shouldn't focus on at all. At all. I'm meaning it. I'm meaning it literally. I think I'm a very lovable figure. If I was a figure in a cartoon, I'd be the most lovable one. I'll be a child. I would be a fictional character. That's not human nor animals. It's something that's invented. That's kind of invented, maybe like a little alien or something. Yeah, a little alien would suit me. A little alien. I think it'll be a little boy. Somehow I'm thinking about a little boy, which is interesting. You know, I'm not thinking about, the first thing that came into my mind without me shaving it whatsoever is like a little boy's, because I'm thinking about a light blue colored little boy's voice. But it will be gender neutral again. Children are gender neutral. Children are not gendered. When you're a boy, you cry whenever you want. When you're a boy, you can be vulnerable. Now when you're an adult, you don't. Well, it's not your fault. I'm just saying that children are gender neutral. Maybe that's one of the reasons why I am genderless. I'm very childlike. How can a person be both childlike and highly self-aware? Which is fair. I wouldn't like it. They almost sound contradictory. I'm still shaking. But I still want to keep on talking. I just need to start to imagine a loving, kind, accepting audience watching this video. Okay. Imagine my dad's watching this video. My dad's spirit's watching this video right now. Anybody who's judging me in the audience, you're gonna get punched by my dad because he was very protective of me. You can get violent for me. Oh, I didn't have the chance to see because I was just a little girl. I was just 6, 7, 8 when he was around. I wonder yesterday, I was asking, like, I even doubt if my dad really loved me at all. Like, I know he spoiled me, but did he really love me at all? If he really loved me, then why did he have to work so far away? Only see me once a year. Maybe that's what I subconsciously had in my head as a kid. Obviously, as children, you don't think so complicatedly. But now I wonder if that's what was going on in the back of my mind. My father was my favorite person in the world. He was like a superstar for me, somebody from TV, And then he was my father at the same time. I just couldn't believe it. How could I deserve that? He was so good. For me, he was so handsome. He was so tall. He was a superstar in the family and even in the world, I felt. He was the best father. He was even better than my best friend's father. And I felt like she was like a little princess. She should have my father as her father. But then I thought, but she already had a father. Okay, so it's my father. I just couldn't believe he was my father. And I think if spirituality is real, and I'm intellectually convinced that it's real, but not empirically convinced. And so if it's real, then my dad should be right here listening to what I'm talking about right now. And he should be hugging me and thinking, you deserve everything that I gave or didn't give you to you. Well, he wasn't a perfect father, actually. He had a lot of things that I don't approve of right now, looking back. He really loved drinking, and he could get violent when he drank. Well, not that I've ever seen it. He was perfect to me when he was alive. I mean, he did nothing wrong, nothing that wrong. But I only heard stories from my mom's family, from my mom. About when he got violent. Well, he was really upset when I kind of stopped him from drinking once. He was super upset. More than he normally would. He was so upset, because I cried, and then he just was really upset. But he doesn't seem to be having any drinking issue, He's not always drunk. He only drank when everybody else drank, in the family. I think I only saw him drinking with other people, in the family or with friends. And it was because he only came back when it was New Year, So, the family reunion, and it was normal for people to drink during that time, every single day. It was reunion, it was celebration, meeting old people, friends, definitely drank. And sometimes I wonder if it actually is a good idea that he had to die. That my life actually got better. The version of my life is actually better than the version where he lived. Sometimes I wonder that way. And even if I had a family member died, I never really thought about death. Without they're in my life, I never thought about my death. I just knew, okay, he's dead. Dead, okay, dead, alright. I didn't think about where he would be, what death actually means. I never thought about these questions. I never thought much about death. Never. Maybe because it's something totally beyond my understanding, my field of cognition. Or maybe in the back of my mind, maybe it's one of the plans that I set for myself to not think about death before spirituality happened to me. Because had I thought about death, maybe I would have discovered the spirituality sooner. I don't know. But for people that are alive, death is just so far away, as if it would never happen. Like for me right now, looking at my body, I can't imagine that one day it will be buried. But then yesterday it came to me that every 7 years, all the cells in your body completely changed. Or completely renewed. Like the body you're looking at right now is not the body that you had 7 years ago. So the day the body that's gonna be buried would probably not be the body that I'm looking at right now. So that's a big relief because I get attached to things. Thinking about this body get buried and rot. The body I'm looking at right now, I just feel sad. But then thinking about it might not be the same body. Well, it's much great relief to know that things are ever changing. There's nothing material. Nothing ever material. Everything's in consciousness. It's all flow. So there's nothing to get attached to. Like you don't ever have a chance to get attached to anything that's impermanent. Because they're never there. Your body's always changing. All the cells are being renewed right now. Slowly, it's a process. So there's never really a body out there. Just cells, Cells that are coming, leaving. And where do they go? They get spread into air. They become part of the air that you inhale and exhale. And these atoms that make up your cell. And your cell, and these cells get spread out of your body. And these atoms also just float and start to form other things. So the relationship between you and other things, other items, are actually so much closer than you think. I just realized this maybe last week, and it just shocked me, to realize that all the atoms, there are no atoms being created. Everything's made of atoms. It's just like nothing ever disappears. It just transfer. That's what we know in physics. No atoms are created ever. There's just the same amount of atoms, and they're just creating different things, forming different things from this thing to another, And so, nothing is a waste. So there's no junk, there's no waste, there's no garbage at all. All the garbage, all the atoms making up our garbage that we call garbage. They're going to make something else. They're going to form something else in the future. There's nothing ever new, even the things that we use, a new phone, for example, it's not new. It's all the atoms used, like for 1,000 times, maybe. And it just brings you so much closer to everything else, so much closer to physical unity, And it's just so stunning to realize, and I just realized that, and suddenly you felt like much, I don't know, you feel like you're so connected physically, like the atoms inside of you. You don't know what it was made of, You think your parents created you. You just came out of nowhere. All the atoms that's in your body right now was something else. And it will be something else. And it is becoming something else. Are becoming something else. Because you're slowly, like I said, every 7 years, all the cells just become completely renewed. And the process ever going is right now. The atoms inside your body. Right now, you're looking at it. You can't see it, but you're looking at it. If you could see it, you would be able to, I think, see atoms flowing out of your body. Atoms right now floating from your skin into the air, and it becoming something else. If you could have a micro camera, and following a atom on your skin, that's how you're changing. And you take a shit, for example, you think your poop is dirty. No, it's not dirty. The fish love it. The fishes love it. And even if it never gets eaten, it's still like it rejoins the. Well, there's nothing like a rejoiner. It's everybody's joining. Everybody is included at all times. There's never an exit or rejoin. So it's not the proper word to use here. I just remind you, but I'm gonna use it because I have no other words to use. So your poop coming out of you and it rejoins immediately the whole circle of reforming other things, like the soil beneath you, or even it could become, let's say, petrol in a few million years, maybe. I don't know. And the food that you're eating right now once was poop from some animal or some human. I don't know. You don't know. From the same atoms, And the atoms are never dirty, The atoms are forever pure and clean. Because the dirtiness is just the illusion that you look at it. For example, you look at a piece of garbage, it looks so covered in filth, and you think it's so dirty. But the atoms are just as clean and pure as the foods you're eating. As those that form the foods you're eating. There's never dirtiness or waste or junk. There's nothing that's a waste in this universe. Nothing that is random. Nothing ever is random. Well, Einstein will tell you the same thing. You can just ask him, he will answer you right now. Because he's dead, thankfully. So he's floating everywhere. Just call his name, he's right next to you. If you ask a question, he will answer you. Maybe Einstein is one of my spiritual guides, because I think I really vibe with this energy. He's INTP, I think. It's definitely I, definitely N, definitely T, and I think it's P, definitely, because he said because they say his desk was always messy, just like me, so we would really get along. Other than the fact that he's more T than P, and then F, like more thinking than feeling. And I'm always more feeling than thinking. Always. Make decisions based on my emotions. Based on my values. The reason why I talk about this, I'm BTI test a lot. And I identify with INTP. The only reason is because the description just shocked me how accurate it was the first time I read it. And it was just when I was 18. I mean, the description, like 70% of description was 100% accurate. The rest of the 30% wasn't. But the part that was accurate was just 100% accurate. It got it 100%. It's just scary, It was just so stunning. So ever since then, I just identify with an INFP just because of the description. And then recently I did the Enneagram. And those descriptions also, fit perfectly well with the INFP test. And it describes me. Also, I think with Enneagram, 90% of description perfectly describes me. I like to talk about myself, and it feels so good. And some people would say, hey, you're being savage talking about yourself. I say, shut the fuck up. I never got anybody to listen to me and talk and get to talk about me. So I talk about myself and it feels good because right now I'm talking, I'm alone. I don't have to worry about being understood or not. with somebody else, I don't talk like this if I sense that they can't understand me, and that's that's all of the cases. That's all of the cases. Of course, I like talking about myself, and I'm not being selfish. You're fucking selfish. If you think I am selfish, that means you are selfish. Remember the rule: if you find somebody selfish, it's actually because you are, and I am just doubting if I am selfish, and that's the most selfless thing, according to that logic. Well, it doesn't work that way, but I don't think I'm selfless, but I'm definitely not selfish. Even if I'm self-absorbed, and that's a neutral word. That's not a neutral word. I love talking to about myself. Well, I have nobody to talk to. I talk to myself. I'm talking to an imaginary audience about myself, where I don't have to worry if I'm understood. Actually, I worry all the time if I'm understood, because I'm over-explaining myself a lot, because I'm afraid that they would judge me based on some things that I say, because they don't understand, they misunderstand, they think I'm being stupid or judgmental or not good. So I'm always over-explaining myself, because I'm imagining this audience being critical. Because I've never had an accepting audience. I should stop, sounding like a victim. Really, I don't want to ever worry about like grammar, because you understand what I'm talking about. I think the English grammar is just doesn't make much sense, many of the times. For example, I can say 1 apple and I can say 2 apple. You understand it's 2 apple. I don't have to say apples. Why do you have to add an S there? 2 potato, 10 potato. You understand what I'm saying? Why do you have to add an S there? It's just be sure and ask. I think there should be a revolution in the English grammar, because it's such a commonly used language. There should be like an evolution in the grammar, so some change in the grammar should be officially accepted rather than considered academically false or something like that. For example, I say 2 potato, I say 10 potato, it's alright, because you understand what I'm saying. Why do you have to care about the fucking unnecessary details that just make it hard for the language learners, non-native speakers? And fishes, and sometimes you have to memorize, because some words just don't follow the rule. Like fish, for example, you don't really say fishes. But I just want to say you have to be consistent here, especially for something that's so unnecessary, and at the same time it's not consistent. It just makes it even harder unnecessarily. I love me. I love being me. It feels so good. And for other people that would ever judge me, you fuck yourself. Fuck yourselves. Actually, nobody ever judged me. Just in my head. Well, they would judge me. They judge my appearance, but if they get to know my personality, they wouldn't judge me. And nobody has got to know my personality. Okay, some people maybe did. Oh, well, they never knew me. The only people would only judge me because they don't know me. And odd enough. Eating slowly the sweet potato when I'm shouting. After I'm shouting. For example, you should also cancel the changes in the verb. In many languages, there's no change. There's no grammar when it comes to verbs. It's just one same verb, such as in my language. One verb never need to be changed in different sentences, but in English and many languages, it's not the same. He is, I am. You can say I be, he be, or I is, he is, they is, I are, he are, they are. I mean, you understand it. Why? What's the fuss? Make it simple, I am. I think maybe because it sounds better. Like, they are is easier to say than they is. He is easier to say he am. I am is easier to say I is. I have. We are. Why not we is? Why not we is? Because we is much better than we are. It's much easier to say we are. I understand I are. I am is easier to say. But we, why not we is. We is much easier to say than we are, right? You have to open your mouth. We are, you have to open it there. If you say we is, you don't even have to open your mouth. That's how it works with I am. You already have your mouth open. You don't have to shut it to say I is. You just say I am. You know. Well, the sweet potato today is good. Ugh, it looks disgusting though, but thankfully it's vegan. It's a vegetable, so it doesn't look disgusting. I can imagine if it was meat, it would be disgusting looking because I can see the veins. You know, I don't know why it's a sweet potato, but it's got veins in the middle, and it makes you fart. I think meat is so disgusting. Like, I have a zero tolerance to like deformed meat. I mean, I can eat meat. Like, I love eating meat. But if there's something wrong with a piece of meat, I just get so disgusted. For example, like if you see, sometimes you can see vein in cooked meat. Sometimes. And it just disgusts me out. Or you see just something weird that just reminds you that it's a piece of dead body. It's not. I think that's the reason why it can just creep me out so easily with meat. If you see, when you see those things like that, you can no longer pretend that it's just food. It's also a piece of dead body. That's one of the reasons why I quit eating meat altogether. I quit cooking meat for a long while now. Shit, I should do this more often. It's so funny. And I need to remind myself that I need to go out before it's dark. Shit, I don't want to go out. I know there's nothing. I mean, there's just people outside, and I don't have the internet outside. I can't do nothing but just roaming around. Oh, I love being me. Unjudged. Unapologetically. When will that happen? Like what I would be, I would wear clothes with the holes in them, you know. But I'm afraid of being judged. I think that's cool, you know. I don't like clothes that look so like neatly cut, for example. I wanna cut the edge of my clothes, the edges of my clothes, and make it look unique. You know, I would do that, but where I am, it's very, very judgmental because they're old people. They judge you a lot. I don't even wear revealing clothes here, even if it's hot as fuck here. For half a year here, like starting from, it's starting from the end of, let's say, starting from March all the way to literally the end of the middle of December. What's the word? What's that word? October, November, December, no, October. So it's like 7 months. Actually, March. Yes. More than 7 months of heat. It's not just hot here, it's also very wet here. Why can't you just use wet? You have to use humid. It's a hard word to remember. Wet, why can't you just say wet? It's really wet here. That's just what I'm gonna say. It's very wet here and hot, so the air is just really heavy to breathe. And it's really hot here. It's not just some places it's hot, but I don't know. It's more humid than hot, but here it's as humid as hot. It is humid and it's hot. And the hot is just hot, like the sun. You can't stay in the sun for more than 1 minute. Literally. In summer, which is just not long ago, like I said, in October. I had to go out and I always had to carry an umbrella with me when it's sunny. Or I would just be cooked. So I got an umbrella, and 90% of the time I use it against the sun rather than rain. And it still doesn't stop you from sweating like a like a what? Like a pea, like a boiled pea. Like a cooked pea. You go out for like 30 minutes and you are showered. Literally every inch of your skin that's under clothes is like showered. Like the showered. Not exaggerated because I've been here for a year. This potato is old. Don't laugh when you eat. Talking to myself. I've been talking to myself. Going out, going to pet other people's dogs. That's what I do when I go out, and I get to pet like 2-3 dogs each day because there's so many people here in winter. When I see an unleashed dog, I go and pet it. If it will waves its tail at me. If it doesn't wave, I don't dare to pet it because I'm still kind of scared it would bite me. Definitely, if it doesn't wave at you, the little tail, it can bite too. No matter how much of a dog lover you are. I never got bitten by any animal. No, just once. Just a squirrel bit me. Like, that's the only time I ever got bitten by. I mean, that was just a mistake, It didn't bite me because it was aggressive. It just thought my fan was food. And I was not experienced with the squirrels, I thought they could see the food in my hand, but they thought my hand's food, so it bit me in really hard. Of course, you bite hard when you see food. But when a squirrel is next to you, like comes to you, approaches you, it's not aggressive. It only gets aggressive when you approach a squirrel and a squirrel has nowhere to go. So that squirrel wasn't aggressive. It came to me because it saw food on my hand. Or what, I don't know. Maybe it just saw my hand. And it was a cute one, Oh man, let me tell you. It was having a piece of a chip in its mouth when it saw me. And when I handed it my food, when I handed it food, it dropped the, the chip. It came to me. So funny. It looked like in cartoon, you know, when you get stunned or shocked and your jaw drops. That's how it's like. How it was like, you know, it was just so funny. It's like it was so excited or what, and it forgot that it had something in its mouth and it just dropped. It's just so funny. I think squirrels are really weird. Like the way they move, and they're really aggressive towards each other. I didn't know that they were not social animals. They didn't like each other. Like, they have to be alone. They're very territorial. Well, that's a new thing, actually, and I just realized right now that they are not social animals. Well, that's just so... Well, they look like a... Because when you see them, you always see a lot of them, so you would... It wouldn't cross your mind that they're not social animals, like hamsters, you know. Hamsters are definitely... Hamsters are so funny. I had one. I think he must be dead right now. I mean... Oh, it's been definitely dead. Like, it's been so many years. I mean, I had to move country, so my roommate told me she's gonna give my hamster to someone that loves hamsters. I hope she didn't forget about it. And I hope so that the hamster got a better care from that person. I don't think I cared well enough about him. Oh, he's such a sweetheart. And he's healthy all alone, even if I didn't care enough about it. And I don't know if he knows me. I don't know if he ever knew me. Because he looked kind of... every time I changed his nest, he looked nervous. He wanted to attack me or what. But he was such a sweetheart. He never bit me, like, intentionally. He would bite me, like, out of curiosity, you can say, when I put my hand near his face. He would just try to, you know, so cute. Try to stand on his toes and would reach for my hand and would want to take a bite. I believe he had a perfect life. I mean, hamsters are the best if you leave them alone. If you have to grab them and pet them after, that's worse for them. So I think I probably did care for it well, because I just gave it lots of time alone. All the time alone. I would check on him like once a week. And I leave him to sleep during daytime, obviously. Because it was actually maybe I think I took care of it well. I just thought I didn't give him fresh food. I feel guilty for it. And it just managed its own diet. It had a full autonomy, and I gave him a bag of mixed food, and he would decide whatever the fuck he wants to eat. I think that's probably the best for them. And you just give them a big enough nest, a big enough cage, and enough food and water, and you just leave them alone. That's probably the best. Especially during daytime. So what's even the purpose of having them as a pet? It's not like a pet. It's like a roommate that you keep. So I'm never going to have a hamster. Ever. They shouldn't be kept as pets. especially if they look so cute. It's really hard for people to resist to pick them up every single day, and they don't like it because they're not social animals. I've heard that the more you pet them, the shorter their lifespan gets. And my hamster really lived like a year and a half. When I left, it had been a year and a half, and it was still healthy. It looked brand new to me. Looked very alive, running around, and the hair perfectly shiny, not shiny, but clean, and everything good looking. Everything good looking. So cute he is. Oh, it's so cute. He has such a cute name. His name is TV. And he managed his own, he found a spot to pee and poop in one corner of the cage, and he would only poop there and pee there and all the rest, and he would find a place to sleep and store his food. And he had more than enough food, and they're all dry food, thankfully, so you didn't need to worry that they would spoil. And he was just so self-disciplined. Many of the nights I can just hear him out running for at least half an hour, non-stop. I'm running. It's just so funny when you hear that sound in the middle of the night. The hamster is running in the videos on its own, you never need to make him. You just look at it, it's such a small thing, and it would run for 5 miles every day. So self-disciplined. But I still feel judged by myself that I didn't give him fresh food because it would be very inconvenient for me. If I gave him fresh food, then I would have to dig him out every day to see if he stored any fresh food at the bottom of the cage so that it wouldn't rot and get moldy and destroy. Actually, that would make him actually worse because there's no way that I could just dig the whole cage upside down. And they always have to store food. They don't care if it's fresh. They store food, and they can even store it inside of their mouth, and it would get moldy, So maybe it's actually a better idea that I never give him any fresh food. But I've been feeling guilty for it all along, all these years. Thinking about him, I just feel like I didn't give him fresh food. At least he had a huge cage. And at least I left him alone. And he's really cute. And he's been healthy, really healthy. Really, really healthy. Running around and shiny. So I should stop beating myself up. Oh, because he's such a sweetheart, so I care. I feel guilty, because he's been sweet. Well, I had some other pets and they were not sweet. So I don't feel bad for not having really perfectly cared for them. And I had to give them away to other people because I couldn't deal with them because they were bastards. They were fucking assholes. And I'm not very patient. So in the future, I will only have dogs. Because dogs are different. Dogs are dogs. Animals are animals. Dogs are so sweet. Not all of them, but most of them. It's not like a cat. Cats are most of them bastards. Some of them are sweet. But I think anybody that would have watched the video till this point wouldn't be judging me, right? and say you're an animal. You're a terrible person for not caring enough about your pets. Well, the thing is, it has to be mutual for me, no matter if it's pets or people. If it's a pet that I care about and it doesn't give a fuck about me, and not only that, it gives shit about me, and I just feel really, I can't do that, you know. Like, the bunny really broke my heart. It would only come to me when I had food, you know, I hate it. He understood its name, but when I don't have food, it doesn't come to me. Fucker. It really breaks my heart, you know. Now when I think about it, I feel sad. And I gave her to someone that had many animals. So I think she probably would make friends. And that person had other bunnies. So she should be having a really, really much happier life without me. That's great. That's great. Great to know, you know. I mean, she was cute too, but not her personality. I hate her. I hate her. I hate her. She's a fucking princess. I feel like her fucking slave or what. I don't like how that feels like. That's why I wouldn't deal with cats either. Because for cats, you're just their fucking slave. I would never have bunnies, like indoor bunnies, but I would have outdoor bunnies. Like, if I get to have a big yard, I'd keep some bunnies in the yard. And I really, really want to do that. Because I like to see bunnies together. I like to see animals interacting with each other, you know, pets. That's just so cute. That's why I got my bunny, you know, that bunny I had, that second bunny I had. The one I've been talking about just now. I got her a friend, you know, I thought they would get together, get along perfectly because they eat the exact same foods. Not exactly same, but mostly same. I thought they would get along. Got her a guinea pig, and the first day they were so sweet together. They were like grooming each other, they were sleeping together, snuggling together. Oh my god. It was like a fairy tale. And then suddenly, you know, the bunny just had to do something fucking stupid, and then ever since then, the guinea pig just was scared of the bunny all alone. I had to separate them. That fucking asshole. She had to bite her. They're both female. I only got female animals. They were all both females. I don't remember. The bunny was a female and fucking asshole, you know. I don't know like what happened, but she was grooming the guinea pig, and then suddenly the guinea pig just, maybe she bit her or whatever, accidentally or on purpose. The guinea pig just, and ever since then, you know, the guinea pig was afraid of it. And then whenever the bunny saw the guinea pig, she had to chase after her like a fucking crazy nut. And and then so I had to get another guinea pig to accompany the first one because they can never be kept alone. And so I got another guinea pig for the guinea pig. Well, I'll tell you, all these animals, I gave them to other people in the end. So I kept them, and then let me tell you about the other guinea pig I got. And they were so fucking assholes, too. You know, the guinea pigs. Because they know that I give them food, like I'm the person that takes care of them, but they wouldn't let me pet them. And whenever I pet them, they freak out, and I feel like they're like treating me like a fucking enemy or what, and that feels tough. That felt tough. I had to give them away. I couldn't deal with that. it was not mutual. I felt I was taken advantage of or what I was ignored. I gave the guinea pigs away earlier than the bunny. Because at least the bunny wouldn't reject me petting it or what, and it would have come to me when I had food. A fucking asshole. It's just so fun. These animals are just so funny. And I'm glad like their next owners were really nice to them. I think like they took pictures, looked really nice, and they looked free. Yeah, I really am glad. I just don't know about my hamster. Anyway, he's definitely dead right now. It's been years. Been 3 years. 3 years. 2 years. If it was still alive with 3.5 years old, well, it's not impossible. Actually, it might still be alive because it was healthy. I kept him healthy. It was so healthy. You know, he was 1.5 years. You know, they normally live just 1 to 2 years, 2 years on average, and it was 1.5 years. It was so vibrant, healthy, running around like brand new, like when I just got him. So I wouldn't be surprised if he lived like for 5 years. If the next person then respected him as much, gave him enough alone time. Well, I didn't do it deliberately. I just thought it was so. I wouldn't want to dig him out in the day. In the daytime, if I had to find him, it's a fucking huge cage. I had to dig everywhere to find him first if I ever wanted to pet him. He would be buried. He always buried himself down in there, and I don't feel like disturbing him, you know, also. But the biggest thing is I also, you know, you just have to dig everywhere in the cage to find him because and I gave him a lot of stuff to bury himself in, and it was a huge cage, so I just had to. You just have to dig everywhere to find him first, and it was just so much trouble. If I wanted to pet him, I just didn't pet him. I only pet him when he was outside. When I hear him outside, and often he was outside at night after 9 o'clock, and I sometimes I would bomb into him when I go to the living room. And I would pick him up and pet him for a while. He didn't like to be picked up. He would shed if I pick him up. And I would just pet him and he would just go for my fingers and have a taste. He would bite and I can't ever let him get me because he'd bite. If you let him bite you, he would bite you hard. But he would bite me like kind of attentively, you know. So he was a sweetheart. He would bite at it kind of hard, but kind of not enough to hurt you. Like, I mean, it hurt, but it was not strong enough to break my skin. So he's a sweetheart. And he's so kind, you know. Some hamsters are fucking aggressive. Many hamsters are aggressive, and this one I had. I mean, he's a dwarf hamster. So I think the kindest. I think that's why I got him because I heard it's the kindest. He was really a sweetheart for me as a hamster. He was a really sweetheart. He deserved the best. Maybe in his mind he had the best. He had all the things he needed. The absence of social contact, enough food, and the wheel to run out, the bacon wheel to run out. Sometimes I would forget to give him water, but immediately I would refill it when I see it empty. And I would just feel really guilty if I like forgotten for like a day or two, which is really. But they are desert animals, so they can endure dehydration. But it didn't die anyways. And very often I would worry that it would die because, like I said, I would just see him once a week, and sometimes I would just feel, and sometimes during those days I kind of worry, what if he was dead, like for whatever reason, and I would just go and I would dig him out and see that he was still there. Because sometimes for a few days in a row I wouldn't hear him running the wheels. I would just, as long as I don't hear him, I would just start worrying, and for a few days, and then I would just go and dig him out. And maybe sometimes he would come out really late, like he doesn't have like a strict routine, and sometimes he would just be running when I'm asleep. Maybe, and I slept really late also, so I would get worried if I don't hear him. But sometimes they say like he was most active at dawn, and I'm the least active at dawn, so it wouldn't have made sense. And it's very cute that he didn't have a strict routine, spontaneous like me. Oh, he's so cute, you know. He's so cute, his little eyes and the way he drank the water. Oh man, I feel like crying when I think about him. Such a cute guy. And I feel like hamsters are generally not treated well enough because people don't know enough about them. Like, people love to pet them all the time, you know. When you have a pet, you just pet them all the time, and sometimes they don't have a big enough cage, and I often see hamsters not in ideal situations. It just breaks my heart to think how cute they are. But you know, it's a spiritual world, and often when you start to think that way, you forget that everything is spiritual. Everything had a plan. Everything is perfect. Because you start over worrying, and you forget about spirituality. You know, I remind myself, every pet has a soul. Not every pet, every domesticated animal has a soul. I think all the hamsters do, and they knew before they came here. They knew what was going to happen to them, so don't have to over worry about it. And many hamsters are fucking assholes, so they probably deserve it. And I would never have a hamster because I always feel this inadequacy when I think about the pets. I just feel like I'm not giving them enough. And I did not give them enough. I should have given him fresh food. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't. Like I said, it was healthy, but at least that's what it appeared to me. Well, it was 1 year and a half. 1.5 years old, and he was fucking healthy, running around. Didn't need the fresh food. Probably if like I said, had I given him fresh food, he would have died earlier because of the mold, maybe. And there's no way I was gonna dig everywhere, dig his cage every day to get the fresh food out at the end of the day. That would have been worse for him because he wouldn't like that. Every time I change his, I'm sure every time I had to change his cage clean, he would get really stressed. Because first and foremost, they are not social animals. You should leave them alone as much as you can. So I just accidentally gave him the best I could give. Not intended. And I hope his new owner did the same. And I would often dream of pets, you know, and in those dreams I often just was overwhelmed by all the pets that I had, and I always found some pets starving or sick in those dreams. I just felt so bad. Yeah, maybe it's just a proof that I'm a good person. Really good person. Maybe it's not like I think. I think I'm like below average. I don't know when it comes to taking care of animals. But maybe I'm above average. I don't know. But when I see those videos people share about their pets, I feel like they really care about their pets, and I feel like I can't do the same. But when it comes to hamsters, though, I see a lot of people, and I always worry if the hamsters they get have a big enough cages, because they're small. You know, people overlook that. People think they're small and give them small cages. They need absolutely large cage, as big as a cage you would give for a cat. Actually, bigger than that even. You know, as big as a table in front of me. A small, even dwarf animal, a dwarf hamster needed a fucking big cage, let alone other hamsters that were much bigger, like 2-3 times bigger than a dwarf hamster. They would need 2-3 times bigger, like 2 times bigger of a cage. And that would be a fucking enormous cage, and I doubt that most people give that to their hamsters. That would be big enough for me to sleep in. I don't know, it just sounds so funny. Oh, I love my sense of humor. Oh, I'm a really fun person. But I'm still worried that you might be judging me right now for, you know, because I had other pets. I didn't take care of them well, especially those that I hated. For example, those parakeets. They were fucking assholes. Oh, they fucking assholes. They were. I was being really patient with them in the beginning, you know, because they were the very first pets that I had after the childhood dog. I never had any pets until them. And they were fucking assholes. I was so patient with them in the beginning, and then they just fucking spoiled it all. They wouldn't just. They're smart, you know, the thing is they're smart, and they should know that I'm not gonna hurt them ever. But they were just so fucking excessively cautious, and as if I was gonna attack them or what. I never attacked them, and they thought like as if they were always ready to be attacked. And why would I fucking attack a fucking keeper? What the fuck? And I was so patient with them. They were bold enough to kind of stand on my hand. But then it just wouldn't. That's the most they could do, you know. And that even regressed later on. You know, I just ran out of my, and they were fucking loud. You know, they were like, they make noise. They don't sing. They make noise. They're like, ah, ah! That's how they sound. Oh, fuck her. And then I decided to give them away. They were poor little things, too, you know. I hope the new owners treated them well. I would never have birds. They're loud, you know, they're loud like that. I would never have birds. I can't deal with them. My ears are really sensitive. I never even use earphones. Oh, not because I'm sensitive to sound, but because just to tell you that why I might be more sensitive to sounds. I never use earphones. Rarely. It doesn't feel comfortable for me. I don't like to feel like shut off from the outer world, so I don't use earphones. It feels really uncomfortable. That's the same reason why I don't wear hats. That feels like shut out. I don't like masks either. Maybe because I'm a naturalist. So if I ever have a backyard, I'll keep bunnies there. And hopefully they don't become fucking assholes. But they're likely to be. So I'm gonna get the largest species of bunny. Because the bigger they are, the nicer they are. The less scared they are. I'll have the largest species of bunnies. Just 2 of them will be enough because they're so big. I mean, they're that big, you know. They're as big as 4 small bunnies, 4 average bunnies. Damn. Maybe I'll keep 2 largest big bunnies, and I'll keep 3 small ones. And I'll have a large yard full of grass. But I feel like that much grass probably wouldn't be enough because they have to eat all the fucking time, all day, every day. So maybe the yard, but they would make my yard bold. Yes, they would, because obviously they prefer fresh grass than dried. I'll give them dried grass, and they can poop wherever the fuck they want. It's just in the yard, and they poop all the fucking time. And yeah. And then I'll have to live in a place where it's not cold in winter, because where I'm gonna put them in winter. Well, then I would need a little house built there, like a little house to put them, like in Stardew Valley, like you have a little house for every animal, and then in winter time they can just stay indoors. And then it would have to be a big enough fucking house for them. So, or I can just live somewhere. But even where I am now on a tropical island is a fucking cold these days. This morning was so cold. And, you know, it's not even the coldest, I think. In January probably would be coldest. And then in February it started to get fucking warm again. I mean, I love it here. I'm just venting. just joking. I love it here. I love everything other than the climate. I mean, I love a tropical climate. I mean, I love like hot heat. I just don't like what it is here. Like, I love the cold here. I'm saying fucking cold, and I love it. I fucking love it. I'd like the cold to be longer than just 2 months, you know. Well, actually, it's probably 3 months because they started at the end of the end of November, October, all the way is gonna go to the end of January. So it's 3 months cold, and the 9 months of. Oh, February wouldn't be hot yet. Around March and April would get hot, and then May, June, July, August, September, and even October will be just burning your ass. Just steaming your ass because it's humid here. Not just burning, steaming your ass. Okay, I'm gonna go outside right now. See ya.